Welcome to the Timely Drops of Wisdom podcast. I'm your host, Jessica Carmon, founder of Resourced Apothecary, where we are asking you to rethink how you refill your cup. Resourced Apothecary offers sustainable practices and products to help you deepen your connection to yourself, your community, and to Mother Nature. Here in this podcast, I'm sharing the plant spirit medicine I receive from the plants and the land. The plants share their wisdom through messages and actual medicines. We'll discuss both in detail. In addition, I provide sound healing and guided meditation to help you connect in with the plants in your unique way. And I offer suggestions for integrating all of this into your life with rituals and practices that are both manageable and powerful. I'm thankful you're here. Let's get into today's topic. Today, we wrap up our discussion on rosemary with examples of practical application. There are beneficial uses for rosemary medicine beyond meditation. Personally, I've found that with more frequent use, I attune to rosemary's gifts more deeply than when I just pick it up every now and then. As we discussed in the rosemary medicine episode, there are so many ways to receive this plant's gifts. But let's look at what this could look like in a typical day. In the morning, after a shower, I'll spray my scalp generously with rosemary hydrosol. I typically don't spend a ton of time getting ready, so this doubles as a quick bit of mindfulness to get my energy right while I am most probably trying to avoid running late. Side note, yes, meditation is a big part of my life. Also, yes, I am human and refuse to wake up super early so I can devote hours to meditation and moving slow in the morning. Back to the morning routine. I'll spray my scalp with rosemary hydrosol and set the intention to open up to clarity. I'll call on rosemary to help me focus and to remember the wisdom of my soul. I'll also thank rosemary for stimulating my scalp and supporting healthy hair growth. This is taking about 45 seconds, just to be clear. Then I'm moving through the rest of my routine. When I sit down at my computer to get some work done and, write some podcast scripts, rosemary might be needed again. I know you will find this hard to believe, but sometimes it feels like a bit of a chore to write out my scripts. I am excited about the topic and really want to share, but sometimes the words just don't come. Or I get lost in my negative thinking about how I will mess up or do it wrong. Sometimes it's not a nice space in my head. This is why we meditate. Anyway, in this situation, I love the combination of 5 drops of rose flower essence on the tongue and a spritz of rosemary hydrosol on my face. This combination feels particularly supportive in helping me center and find the flow of whatever task is giving me fits at the moment. I will tell you, dear listener, sometimes I repeat this combo several times. I'll couple that with some big, slow, deep breaths, and typically I'll find my flow. I would also suggest spraying the top of the head or the throat, depending on where you're feeling resistance. after this, I usually won't feel the need to work with rosemary again until I start cooking dinner. It's not my most heavily used herb, but if there is a soup or stew element to the meal, you can bet rosemary will be there. Then at night, if anybody in the family has any eye irritation, they will get rosemary-infused castor oil slathered over their lids at bedtime. For me, I'll massage some of that same castor oil onto my scalp, and it's off to bed. With any herbal remedy or plant spirit medicine, I personally will use it regularly for about a week, and then I just keep it handy. If I feel the pull to use it, it's there. If not, no big deal. And really, what's happening here is I give my physical and energy bodies time to calibrate to the frequency of the remedy. The repetition is key for me. Then once my bodies are familiar with the remedy, I trust that I'll know when to pick it up again. This is how I can work with so many different plants and remedies and not just spend every minute of my time taking them. For you, this may look different. My suggestion is to offer yourself a devoted amount of time to experience a remedy. What feels right for you? 7 days? 21 days? Some other amount of time? You get to decide. Then, really be intentional and consistent with using the remedy in that time frame you've allotted. Observe how you feel when you're working with it. What kinds of complaints tend to be lessened? What is your overall mood when working with it? When does it feel most supportive to you? And when would you rather not work with it? Being intentional about this and paying attention to these details will really help you categorize this remedy so that you'll have an easier time in the future knowing when it's time to pull it back out. And I'm not necessarily saying you need to be keeping a spreadsheet so that you can categorize your data. What I am saying is that when we give our attention to these details and we really set the intention to take that in and create a more textured understanding of a remedy, it tends to stick a little better. It tends to be a little bit easier to remember when you might want to work with or when it might be time to pull it back out. And here's where we get to honor our innate wisdom. After a period of intentional experience with your remedy, you can trust that your body will let you know when you need it. Your body and your mind have collected some good data during that intentional period, and your personal experience is going to teach you far more than just reading about herbal actions or listening to some crazy lady on a podcast. Though, in my humble opinion, those can be helpful too. So, how are you working with rosemary right now? I'd love to hear about it. Send me a DM on Instagram or tag me in your posts. Send me an email. You can even send a voicemail on the Timely Drops of Wisdom website. How cool is that? Remember, whatever way feels right for you, most probably is. May you honor your wisdom, and may all of this serve your very highest good. Big love, my friend.